It's all straight ahead, but first tonight, the last debate in the heated race for governor. Scott Walker and Mary Burke go head-to-head one more time in Milwaukee tonight. Political reporter Jessica Arp has the highlights of the debate.
In their nearly hour-long final debate, Governor Scott Walker and challenger Mary Burke covered a lot of Milwaukee-specific ground, including where they stand on public financing for a new Milwaukee Bucks arena.
I do not support a sales tax or another new tax, as been talked about in the past for other projects, for this particular project. What I do think, though, we should look at is what is the actual value. I don't mean the theoretical value. What is the Milwaukee Bucks as a team actually bring into the state of Wisconsin?
The public option should be on the table, but it should be the last one. And we have to protect the taxpayers here. But we also have to understand the impact it has on the community, not only the direct impact, but the indirect impact on Milwaukee.
They also discussed an issue that impacts the whole state, whether to criminalize first offense drunk driving.
I am on record as saying that I think it should be a misdemeanor. Right now, there are not enough consequences for that first offense, and I think we have to make sure that there are consequences.
Those first-time offenders, criminalizing that isn't the answer. It's going after repeat offenders, toughening up the penalties.
But showing their sharpest elbows in the debate, they answered what blame they'd take for their campaign's failings, Walker missing his 250,000 jobs goal from 2010, and Burke copying parts of her jobs plan.
And I think as voters look at the contrast, they're not going to blame us or criticize us, I should say, for aiming big. I think people want leaders that have big goals. I would ask, though, that voters look at the contrast between the two of us. In the last 3 years, we created nearly twice, as many jobs as were created during the 3 years that my opponent was in charge of the Department of Commerce under Governor Doyle.
With the number of times that Governor Walker has mentioned Jim Doyle, it's clear that he'd rather be running against him than me. And the consultant that I used, I cut ties with when I realized that he had used similar ideas in other economic development plans. But great economic development plans are about great ideas.
This is one of the things that people hate about politics, is when somebody says one thing and does something different. When my opponent worked for Jim Doyle, she said, quote, "I support Governor Doyle's policies entirely." Now that she's running and Governor Doyle's not so popular, she's changed.
Governor Walker is just trying to distract from his own jobs failure and failure of achieving the promise that he created.
Now, this was the last debate before the election, and other than those moments, there have been no major game changers or major gaffes. It's now a dead even race in a very busy week with just 18 days to go to November 4th.
All right, Jessica Arp reporting live for us tonight. Jessica, thank you.